I'm 20 years old and I've generated $700,000 plus from Airbnb in the past 2 to 2.5 years, and this is what I've learned so far. The number one lesson I want to tell you is cash flow is king. A lot of people talk about revenue, how much a property is going to make, but they don't talk about the expenses. If I'm making $3,000 a month in revenue with a property and the expenses are $2,800 a month, it doesn't even matter. Why am I even talking about this property? I shouldn't have this property in the first place. I mainly do Airbnb arbitrage, where I find a property, I rent the property, and then I sublease and list the property onto Airbnb. And the main expenses are rent, cleaning expenses, utilities, softwares, and wear and tear and maintenance costs. If I have a property that's monthly cost is around $2,800 to operate, I want to be making at least $4,000 a month in revenue. And I talk about cash flow is king because that's one of the most important parts of the business, is running your numbers correctly. You're not going into the business to tell people how many units you have or how much revenue you're producing. You're starting a business to produce monthly net cash flow. You're not really worried about the revenue, you're worried about the cash flow and the cash flow percentage that you're actually bringing in and putting inside of your pocket after paying your cleaners, after paying your landlords and banks, and after paying your softwares and utilities. Another lesson I learned is not to cheap out on investing into the properties. At first, when I started my Airbnb business and I started getting units, I would cheap out on the furniture, I would cheap out on the finishes, the paint, etc., and I would end up getting guest complaints. And as these cheap items that I put in the property got more wear and tear and they didn't hold up, I would receive guest complaints. And the one thing you need to know about the Airbnb business is all about hospitality, is hosting good stays. If you don't host good stays, you'll have bad reviews. If you have bad reviews, you'll have a bad listing. If you have a bad listing, then that drives down the income, and you don't want that to happen. Another lesson I learned, pricing strategy is one of the most important parts of the Airbnb business. If you don't have dynamic pricing, if you don't have the proper pricing strategy, then you are not going to make money with your listing. You're not going to make money in general. Every single day should be priced differently based on supply and demand, based on if it's a weekend or a weekday. Every day is a different price. And a quick tip, one of the softwares I use is Price Labs, and that's some free game right there for you. And by the way, if you haven't followed my Instagram, follow my Instagram right now. Follow. I always give free tips, and you can always DM me with any and all questions. I answer almost all DMs. Another lesson I learned is hidden costs add up, aka whenever things go wrong. So you need to make sure whenever guests cause problems at your units, you need to make those claims. Set those claims up and make sure you're charging your guests for mistakes that they made, because if you just let everybody take control of you, if you let all these guests use you and just leave, then that's gonna leave you with money out of your pocket every single month, and it adds up. Imagine you're spending $50 per guest turnover because they decide they want to stain the sheets. Every single guest decides they want to stain the sheets, they want to stain the towels, and you're spending $50 per turnover and you have 5 turnovers per month. Then you're out $250 a month, and you're out $2,400 to $3,600 a year. Another lesson I learned is big on guest communication, guest experience, and guest management. The one thing about guests is you'll receive different types of guests. They could be a good person, a bad person. Some people don't care. Some people just want to leave a bad review for no reason. And the problem is with Airbnb, it's very difficult to even leave reviews because guests are very, very harsh sometimes. Someone can see a piece of lint on the furniture, on the sheets, and call it a dirty listing and leave you a 1-star review, and you might not be able to get that removed. So guest hospitality and be able to be hospitable towards the guests is one of the most important things that you need to involve into your Airbnb business, is making sure you have checklists and everything is on point with you, your cleaners, your handymen, your VAs, and everyone is on the same page. My business consists of cleaners, handymen, virtual assistants. That's the backbone of my business, along with the software, dynamic pricing, and my PMS softwares. Just like I said, reviews can make or break your listing. It can literally make your listing get deleted, or it can make you have a guest favorite listing and on top of the Airbnb list and on top of the search bars when people go to search up your listing. With that being said, to be a superhost, you have to have a 4.8 average review within every quarter of the year, and they evaluate it every 3 months or every 4 months. Another tip I learned throughout this process, automation is key. Make sure you have your smart locks, make sure you have your softwares, make sure you have dynamic pricing, make sure you have your employees, because if you actually want to scale and make this a real business and start bringing in some real money, then you're going to have to automate your business. You're not going to want to do everything in your business. You're not going to want to work in your business. You want to work on your business and have your time delegated to finding income-driven tasks and bettering your business to make it better experience overall for you and the guests. And something I also would like to give you as a tip is don't try to scale too fast beyond what you can handle, because if you can't handle it, then you are going to mess up. Don't scale too fast if you don't have the means to, if you don't have the finances to, if you don't have the time to, because your time's not going to be delegated in the right places unless you have those automations and systems in place where you can actually scale your business and it can be a smooth process. Throughout the building this business, I've generated $700,000 plus in revenue from when I've started my Airbnb business. I've learned a lot of lessons, and something I like to tell you guys in these videos is I'm just a normal person just like you. I started this business at 18 years old, and the reason I was able to start this business is because I got my mindset right. Starting a business isn't just, learning the business and starting it. First, you have to get your mindset correct to show yourself that you can actually achieve what's unachievable. You can actually achieve and put your mind into something and achieve it and do what you need to do when you least feel like doing it. Right now, it's 12 o'clock at night. I fasted the whole day, and I'm still recording this video. That's part of my accountability of doing what I need to do when I least feel like doing it, because I feel like I need to serve my viewers and educate them to get them to where they want to be and help motivate you and get you to where you want to be in life, mentally, financially, spiritually, and emotionally. Because in life, financial is not the only thing that you need to get better at. You need to get better at every single thing in your life to make sure you are getting to that next level. Just like I said, I'm 20 years old. I'm about to be 21 in about 2 weeks from now. So wish me a happy early birthday, man. And something I always leave you guys at the end of every single video, make sure you pray to God, because God is the one that created all of us. Make sure you pray to him at least once a day. And listen, if you want to learn more about the business, you want to learn the basics of the business and get a lot of free game for a cheap price, there's a crash course. The link is in the bio. Make sure you click it, and you may be able to get a call with me as well if you want to join the inner circle group. With that being said, make sure you follow my Instagram and DM me, whether that's about mindset, life, spirituality, business in general. I answer any and all DMs. I love to talk to my subscribers. I love to talk to my followers. Thank you for supporting me. And like I said, make sure you pray to God, follow my Instagram. If you want to learn more about the business, crash course link in bio. And leave suggestions in the comments of anything that you want me to go over in the future related to business, life, cars, Airbnb in general. I want to go over everything. I want to keep this channel broad and talk about everything and teach you guys as much as I possibly can from my life experiences in every single avenue of life. And that's it. I love you guys. Make sure you pray to God, and I'm out. Follow my Instagram.